Oh, yes, sir. Bring one in freshly for the weekend so we can have a couple things to ponder. We got some interesting stuff that's developing out. But first, for the OGs, somebody cue that wind effect. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. It's a round table event. Things getting lit in. This is just what we like. Come on in. Come on in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Hey, we're going to drop a little late night one so y'all can wake up on Sunday and give y'all stuff to think about as we go and progress into this week, guys. Got a lot of crazy stuff happening. There's things floating around with an approval of one of our lawsuits, not confirmed yet. I'm seeing a lot of denials. There's a bunch of these lawsuits that are popping up here last minute that they're claiming is frivolous lawsuits. People just throwing everything they got at this right now. We're going to go over that. Review a clip here. Basically what I'm saying as far as now being the time to be dollar cost average and picking up some of these great stocks that are on discounts. The name of this game is accumulation of shares in these banger companies. We have some family members that are kind of like, we don't want to put tech in your tech now because it's going down. But a thing that if you don't get this, you will never understand. This game of money, you've got to stop looking at the price point now. Tesla's at $215. If you had to put some tech in there in January, you would have been able to get it at $115, right? But that's even further out of the realm of the fact that that's because it's the stock split price. So had they not done this stock split 9 months ago, then this $215 you're seeing would be $850, right? And then you'd be like, oh, that's too high, I can't buy in. But now when it's at $215 or was it $150, you had every excuse why I'm waiting for it to come down. You've got to look past this current state, understand what the bigger time frame of the collection of these bigger stocks are. But like I said, we're going to cover this over this video, go over a little news from our NVIDIA as well. But let's double tap down and give y'all some things, give y'all some things to think about. But first, we're going to have to goddamn hit them with a...
Get right to the floor show to dissect it all. Joining me now, two good friends, Keith Fitzgerald, I think he's out in beautiful Seattle, and my good friend, Teddy Weisberg, who jumped off his yacht to spend some time with us. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
I think I can hear him now.
I'm just tongue-in-cheek, guys. Teddy, let me begin with you. You say, look, Teddy, we know there's a lot of headwinds. Inflation, China, interest rates, it goes on and on and on. We're treading water right now. Where do we go from here? You look in your crystal ball. How do things go for the rest of the year?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the year. We just need to get through the rest of the summer, actually. But on balance, through the end of July, it's been a pretty good year, if not a very good year. You just had to have the right horses, but you really have nothing to complain about in terms of the popular averages. But the markets have simply run into a wall as we've exited the second quarter earnings, which is, usually not, that kind of happens when we get through earnings, because then the market, quite frankly, has to have something to focus on. And in this case, to maintain the positive bias, something positive to focus on. So, investors actually have a very short memory. They forget that the first 7 months of the year were pretty good.
This is the key point, and this is kind of crazy to me when people are coming in. NVIDIA's down from 480. I'm sitting up saying, but it started off at 100. This 7 months ago, I was like, you can't just if you don't get it, you never will. Stock is never just going to run forever, nor do we want it. These are healthy retracement. We need solid builds of support to where we know, okay, listen, on the next leg, boom, hey, this is 30, we're good to go. But guys, we had 7 months of green beaning. My long-term portfolio is up over 130% on big mega cap companies. That's crazy.
Get a couple of bad weeks and everybody's looking for the exits.
That's so true, Teddy. Keith, I looked at your notes as well. You say, I love days like this when fear is palpable. We've certainly kind of felt that this week, but is it a buying opportunity for you?
Oh, are you kidding? We have had one of the busiest days we've had in a long time because, this is exactly the kind of day that if you're an investor, you want to see, because otherwise great companies. Remember, Ashley, this is a technical sell-off. It's, to Teddy's point, something that happens every summer. It's like clockwork. We know this playbook.
Guys, listen to the man. Listen to it. Take the emotion out of it. This is like clockwork.
Sell high is how you play the game. Then you go hunting for the world's greatest companies, and that's exactly what we did today.
Very good, Teddy. You know the Magnificent Seven.
What?
The big,
You think Tesla's
the
going
big
somewhere?
Tech stocks led
What are we
the
talking
way.
about?
They can't
You think
do it
Apple's
now,
going
so we don't
somewhere?
have that direction.
You think Apple's going to be worth less
who could
next
pick
year
up
than it is
the
this year?
baton,
Come on,
so
now
to
you just
speak,
never get
if
it.
tech
You
isn't
will never
leading?
get it.
Well, quite frankly, actually, I think we need techs to lead, but I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with the techs. Listen, they've had a huge move.
I'm tired of
Just look
screaming
at
it.
The
I'm
move
tired
that
of
Meta
screaming
has
it.
made from 88 up to a trading
tired
high
of
of
screaming it.
325 just a couple of weeks ago, almost in a straight line. So, technically these stocks need to rest. So the fact that they're all selling off tells me that it's more technical than fundamental in nature. But in terms of where we go, I'm not sure I am as bullish as Keith. I think we have plenty of troubled waters ahead of us. I don't know that we're going back to where we were 7 or 8 months ago, but clearly the markets are going to trade sideways here for a while until we get something positive to look at. But the very good news, Ashley, is that for those folks that want to be risk averse, you can get 5.5% in short-term treasuries all day long, and it's a nice place to hide till the dust settles.
That's a very good point. So what do you say, Keith? You're being a little optimistic to Teddy's point. There are a lot of headwinds. We talked about that. 5.5% on a treasury, pretty good return.
Well, there's no doubt about that, right? And to be clear, we're not just bullish for the heck of being bullish. What we're doing is taking very cautious bets with quality companies, right? And on days like today, you don't just wade in all at once. You might as well go to Vegas if you want to do that. I mean, better yet, give me your money. I'll go to Vegas and have a great time. But what you do is you change your tactics, right? So you buy a little now, a little tomorrow, a little a week ahead. Because to Teddy's point,
Dollar cost average. I'm not just saying things out of my ear holes, people. This is, if you want to be strategic, if you want your money in your portfolio, if you want your generational wealth to start and continue growing, what I'm talking about are the basics that I had to learn for my portfolio to start shifting in the mannerism that I wanted. That's what I'm telling you.
You've got to settle. You
I'm only speaking from experience.
Selling, because that's how the markets work. They've got to.
I done blew up a load of accounts before I got to understand what it was.
So you can get the strong money back in. That's what's happening on days like today.
Yeah, you could argue, Teddy, it's pretty healthy. But I also want to ask you about China, talking about headwinds. Every piece of economic data we get is a little disturbing. And when China struggles, it does have ripple effects, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, China is clearly one of the 800-pound gorillas, and at any level cannot be dismissed. And if China struggles, they get a cold, we're going to start sneezing. And clearly, this is one of the big unknowns out there. And to get the world economies going again,
China's in shambles.
China to get better.
Keith, to Teddy's point, one of the some analysts are saying, look, that could have an impact on global demand next year, including energy. And I know you can see oil at $100. Are you buying into this space, and why are you bullish?
Well, I'm buying into companies like Chevron, for example, because I'm not so concerned about the commodity itself as I am about the ability to service that. They've made huge investments. They've got a great breakthrough energy fund. And on top of that, they pay a heck of a dividend. So, on a low beta stock, big dividend, a market that's down, and I expect prices to go up, it's a logical invitation for me.
Very good. Teddy, I'm going to finish on the Fed. Why not? They meet in September. They're data dependent, so we'll have to wait for a lot more data to come in. But, Teddy, what's your sense? Are we going to see higher rates for longer than perhaps we hoped for?
Higher for longer?
I think, obviously, the street wants lower rates, but I think the reality is, in spite of all the rhetoric, I think the direction of rates is probably higher.
Higher for
how
longer.
long, who knows? But the fact is, the reality is that the economy continues to chug along.
Just cutting them off, but like I said, guys, if you're thinking that, all right, the rates are going to come down, and guys, you are going to get used to these higher prices, higher interest rates. There is not going to be a recess of bringing food costs back down. We might see them come a little bit down, but you are going to get used to these higher prices. Just like we're talking about the generational thing, what you're doing today is setting up for your tomorrow, the next year, the year after that, but also your family's years after that, because this generation alpha, they're gonna come in and be used to $4 eggs. Yeah, like I came in used to, when I go in, it's like, oh yeah, $1, $2.99, $1.99 for a 16-ounce Coke. That's what I'm used to. My parents were used to 25 cents going crazy, but got used to what was going on. It never goes back down. And then even on the front, if you want proof of that, if you own a business and you could charge me, let's say this shirt was $10 last year, and now this year is $20. Why would you go that back down and selling it for $10 unless you were forced to? And if everybody in the company making in that field making shirts is like, hey, we selling $20, that's what it is. This is capitalism, baby.
Estate market, having some negative effect, but overall on the economy, the economy's fine. So if the Fed is serious, rates have got to go higher. Now, of course, it would be nice if Washington would stop spending so much money, because you got two people pulling on the same rope in opposite directions.
Very interesting. Same question to you, Keith. I mean, interest rates higher for longer. Yes, the economy's been remarkably resilient, but how much longer can that last if the Fed keeps those rates high?
Well, I maintain the Fed has got a fiscal problem, not a rates problem. And as long as, to Teddy's point, that Washington continues to spend, they can raise rates till the cows come home and not fix this problem. I think we got one or two rate hikes going, and that's still going to go. But that's because the Fed's got busted models. They missed this crisis in formation. They're still missing it now. I think they should pause. I think they should be responsible and reconsider new information.
Do you think we're going to have
Can't take your foot off the gas.
recession, Keith?
It'll start spiraling right back out. It's not safe.
Year.
It's slowed.
Well, I maintain we were in one a year ago, and we've actually emerged from it. Whether or not we go back into another one, and even though they don't call it that, that's a subject for academics.
This man's got brains.
I'm going to focus on the world's best companies, the great stocks. They're still out there. I don't care what the politics are.
Very good. Well,
Investor.
gentlemen, thank you both. Keith, thank you very much for joining us. Teddy, happy sailing to you. Great to see you both. Thank you.
Trying to tell you, I'm trying to be like Teddy in that thing. I promise you. It ain't no try. That's what I'm going to accomplish. Now, guys, listen. Just finishing off on that clip. The time is now. The greatest generational wealth transfer is under play. Do not be a ham and egger. That is a thing that we're going to keynote on this channel, is ham and eggers. We are not the ham and eggers. Like our family member said, you got the have-nots and you're going to have the have-yachts. This is going down now. And if you get caught up in this, inflate, I don't care. I'm not worried about any of that. America's not going into the Astros and blowing up. It's the one stable house around the world. If America goes up, everybody's going up. Are we moving financial plates to crypto? Oh yeah, that's going to happen. But even though they're doing all this attacking, America's going to be at the forefront of that as well, which is why we're buying into that now. And if not, I'll take them cars and I'm gonna be rich wherever they accept. You hear me? But the time is now. Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, XRP, Bitcoin, Apple, Amazon. If you are in your head telling yourself that because you're seeing, you can't pull out and say, okay, look, it moved back up. You see that U curve, 218, pull it on out on the daily. This is why people just never can get it. They'll never get it. This up here, where was it 4? This was a stock split. That was really 900, 1,000 when he stock split it. But right here, guys, right here, and I'm pretty sure it was, if it was that soon, that's the whole point. But in 2019 on Tesla, you could have got it at $11. I think that stock split price would have probably been around like $100. You going down, look, they got $9. What is it? 2016, you could have got it at $9. And I do remember those because I had some of those that we previously sold for some pizza while I was in college. Didn't understand at that point. I was 18. I was 18. But the keynote of this money game, this generational wealth, is you got to know what you're buying. And like we say, you got to know what you're holding. The time is now. I'm going to keep screaming it. Dollar cost average. Stop being at the woes. Don't let that FUD. Yeah, it's down. Yeah, it's down off of its all-time highs. That's normal. That's what happens every time you're going to have a sell-off of traders. But long-termers are buying this. If you think big money ain't buying into this, you're out of your mind on that. But let's double tap down and get to our play, baby. Looking in our AMC, guys, we closed out 409. Finish off in after hours, 403. Pull this out. This goes to show you how much has changed with all the stock split. None of that, but I just leave that up there. I just, I never actually remove any chart move because it'll turn back out that later they'll be playing lines that were set up from, months and years ago. But now put it on through. Price change hasn't changed that much. What everybody's pinning on is what we're all waiting on, which is going up towards this 24th, which is actually coming in next week. Guys, next week is about to be one for the books. We got all these lawsuits going down. There's word that one of them's got approved. We got to figure out on Monday. There's no confirmation, so I'm not bringing that to y'all until I actually know. But like I said, in the pipeline, it's heard that there's an approval of there might be a stay as far as halting this conversion. We don't know yet. We about to see on Monday how it plays out. But as of right now, 0 shares available. Cost to borrow was up there at tops. We maxed cost to borrow Friday. Cost to borrow was maxed on Friday. We're going to go over that. But we hit 921s, 879s on those last few shares. Of course, guys, you're looking at them borrowing those off on 400,000 shares, 35,000 shares, 500,000 shares, right? Put it on through. 39th day on the threshold securities list. This should have officially passed GameStop. We're not going for the first place because we family told us that the number one was Overstock, which is on there for some 600, 700, 800 days. Like, we're not even trying to run for that. We don't want first place. If that's how long it is to get first place, hey, we don't want first place in that. We'll stay right here at second place. But like I said, we have 40 days on the threshold security list. Everybody knows about this. All eyes are on this. And like I said, even that much more compelling argument for those that are bringing up lawsuits. Like I said, there was really only one, which is that retail. You got Izzo, which is a solid one. She's trying to get a stay on what's going on. But the newest one with the 8 retail investor, I really feel like that's a strong one. I think that's the one that is supposedly approved. We don't know yet. But we got to see how it comes through on Monday. But let's double tap down and keep going through. I wish I had my Ortex up here. I want to show y'all Ortex data. But like I said, cost to borrow was 1,006 was the max. Cost to borrow average was 1,006 as well. So we max cost to borrow on Friday, guys. Things are getting toasty. But now here's something interesting. Dark pool data trading has risen up under the old famous measle mouth GG. How ironic is that? And I wonder why. If y'all ever want to know how big this play is and how big this is, the fact of the matter is that they are shifting markets to try to suppress that AMC play. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But like I said, we're fighting a Richmond north of Richmond. This is bigger than us. This is about the fact that one retail is coming in this. We bust it up. It's like going to prison. We hit the biggest guy in and we scrapped up. That's setting the name. But like I said, those of us that want to have this as a longevity thing, that want to make a career or a lifestyle, I shouldn't say a career. Investing in financial freedom is a lifestyle. It's not a career. You've got to be doubling down and building that portfolio over long terms. 10 to 15% of your money can go to, and again, not financial advice, it's just how I roll it, to after years of having to learn and getting burned, this is what I know. 10 to 15% into your swing trades, options, momentum plays, meme stocks, etc. That will be enough for you to compound and build. But I use that as these are my fun tokens of immediateness, right? But as far as every 2 weeks, what I break off $500 to $1,000 a month, what I'm pushing in to my long term, and then I send money to my crypto of that $500 to $1,000. This is how we're building out. This is the only way. I'm telling y'all. And then the next maneuver, real estate. Those are the ways that you accumulate wealth, guys. I want to not only be rich, but I want to be wealthy. I love being wealthy, right? And even at this point, at my age now, where I'm seeing the discrepancy of where people that have played through their 20s and didn't get it are looking at me, and it's like, how is this guy able to still go out every weekend and seem like he moved to a better? But well, it's because I pay myself first, and then my fun, I slide that into a narrow point. People don't realize, hey, I'll take $150 for a weekend and turn up. Go get my bottle from the store, get my tequila, get my 1,800. Now, of course, I live in Alabama, which is great. The cost of living is obviously cheap, but I still am not going to be the type of person where I'm going to blow the time now on what for what's going to come in the future. My mid 30s, 40s, 45, 50s. Y'all think that I'm hell right now? You have not seen anything. Let's keep on pulling on through. These are some of the frivolous lawsuits, but I just want to put up, because like I said, guys, there are a lot of lawsuits popping out. We on Thursday covered the original 3 that were up there, because like I said, there's all this stuff popping up, because I was getting confused what's going on. But Judge Zern has denied the last one with the girlish girl that was trying to have a lawsuit of rearrangement on what was going on with that. And basically, you know, she's just batting these down, but I just, you know, want to read this through to y'all down at the bottom. Court authorized her comments. Through her objection, Grealish, I don't know how to say her name, challenged the validity of certain provisions of AMC's certificate of incorporation. Grealish is not arguing that the claim challenged the validity of the charter is being released and does not explain how it's tied to the merits of the proposed settlement that was approved on August 11th. Her motion for rearrangement is denied. The purpose of her request stay is less clear. Regardless, Grealish has identified no legal basis for such stay. Guys, Judge Thurn ain't playing it, but also, if you're going to bring a lawsuit, I'm not against y'all trying to, you know, drop your lawsuit. Become like the ape investor talking facts. I just don't understand why there's so many people that are shooting at random facts like AMC certificate of incorporation. What's that got to do with, how is that going to stop the conversion? What's that got to do with, hey, this is illegal. The amount of shares that are created is going to dilute the stock. Your Honor, the fact that they don't have these shares delivered, they should not be able to push through with this without handling this first. This is a giant misgrievance to all investors and shareholders as our money is being stolen on day. Just simple things, but it's like people are coming around playing this. I don't understand. Like I said, if I had the cash, I'd open up a lawsuit. I'd go deep, but like I said, I'm leaning further with that ape investor. I think that he is the best bet that we have right now as far as the lawsuit and trying to stop that. And Izzo, put it on through. Before we finish this bad boy off, NVIDIA has monopolized the economics for AI, and analyst says its stock can keep cruising. Keep in mind, guys, NVIDIA's price target has been raised to $800 from the current place right now. Get lost in the sauce if you want to. Get lost in this day-to-day transaction. Oh, it's down right now. It's down. I'm going to hold back. I'm not going to buy in. Get lost in the sauce if you want to. 435 is what we're sitting there right now. Of course, bouncing off supports. All-time high was 480. Price target range to 800. I raised to 800. If you don't get it, you never will, guys. It's a generational wealth transfer, guys. Like I said, we're going to be bringing options because this channel one, not only are we going to bring the news, talk about news, break it down, but also we're going to be giving ways to make the money. I'm not just going to be asking y'all questions. I'm bringing in day-to-day how we can expand our portfolios, how we're going to get our yachts on that bay out in Florida. That's what this whole goal is. Like I said, it's still up to you, though, right? You've got to be the person to make the servant. You've got to be the person to say, okay, wait a minute. I see daily AI. I'm seeing more Rivian trucks parked. I'm seeing more Tesla stars, more Chargers popping up. Do you think that it is a bad move to dollar cost average? You don't have to go in at $20,000 right now, but hey, pick up a Tesla stock, pick up an NVIDIA stock, pick up an Apple stock each month. If you can't do a full stock, break it down and go on Webull, click the link, get us some free shares. Go buy $50, $100, but you have to be attributing this money into an asset, guys, or you're going to get caught with the rabbit having a gun, as we cannot forget that dollar is not worth anything. The North of Richmond made it that way, guys. I love that song. I don't lie to you. It's good. But like I said, much love to y'all boys. Listen, we're 11 out from 1,000. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the boy. Listen, this is Money Mafia. We taking it up. We only getting bigger and better. We got a lot more coming with this channel. But like I said, I appreciate all y'all guys making a dream come true. I love all the support. I'm glad everybody is able to enjoy the content and that, as well as getting education. Guys, go down in those comments. Let's talk it out. I love seeing y'all down in the comments. And like I said, even on the last video, people read the comments. Even if people aren't responding, you'll see them liking the comments. People are reading through these comments, and it's helping them to become a better trader. This is us as a community has to work together in bolster and get stronger. If you got information, drop it down and come in. Hey, money. Hey, go over this. What is? Hey, have you heard about this? Bree? What's going on with that? Hey, have you heard this? I need that in the comments, just like everybody else does, guys. We're learning together. We're getting stronger. We're getting better. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, what I know for a fact is that I'm gonna have a yacht with a bunch of thoughts. It's not a question. I'm not asking. I'm telling what's going to occur, guys. But like I said, just remember, You're one trade away from changing your wife, changing your life, changing your thoughts, and then changing your family's legacy. That's a big thing. Do not forget the power of what you got going on. And salute to each and every single one of y'all that's stepping forward and taking and going that comfort zone, out of the comfort zone, and say, hey, let me put this money here. Let me take this instead of having it sitting up in my account so I feel a little bit more comfortable. Let me push that in there and let this money grow, guys. Hey, much love to y'all boys. Y'all already know what's coming next, don't you? DJ B Money. Throw that thing down. Yes, sir!